Hi, this is Manin Morrissey, and let's pause here for our Power Boost of the Week. You know, there's a physician in San Francisco that tells wonderful stories, and she tells a story about being raised in a family where it was all physicians. Her mother, her father, her grandparents had all been physicians, and there was a very high expectation for performance. And she said, when you're a child, it's easy to mistake approval for love. And she said she adored her father and always wanted to please him. But when she would bring home a 98% on an exam, he would always say to her, well, what happened to the other 2 points? And she said long after her father stopped asking her that question as she grew up, she took over that job for herself. And she realized that she had turned into a very high-order perfectionist. She said that over time, she began to realize that no matter what she did, she always thought she could have done better if she had tried just a little bit harder. And she said that she began to realize that there's a difference between real love and approval. And yet when you're raised by a family of perfectionists, it's hard to sometimes discover what that might be. She said life comes in many forms and many teachers. And one of her teachers was a friend of hers who was an artist and her first love. And she said while they were together, her driver's license came up for renewal, and she was going to have to retake the written portion of the test to keep her driver's license. And so the driving, the motor vehicle sent her some kind of booklet in the mail, and she had to study it in order to get her license. And she said during the time she was studying for the test, David, her love, would ask her to do things, like, well, let's go to a movie. No, she couldn't go to the movie. She was studying for a driver's test. You want to go for a walk tonight? No, I don't want to go for a walk tonight. I'm studying for my driver's test. She said after a few days of that, she took the test, and of course she got 100%. She said she just came racing into his studio to tell him, David, guess what? Guess what? I got 100% on my driving test. And when she told him that, she said he turned slowly around from where he'd been working, and he looked her in the eye, and she said very tenderly, he said to her, my love, why would you ever want to do that? It was not the reaction she had expected. But she said she came to realize that she had spent all this time just trying to get 100%. Because if her father could not approve of her with less than 100%, she had learned that she couldn't even approve of herself with less than 100%. And she realized that she'd spent all that time learning things she really didn't need to know and probably didn't even want to know. And more than that, there were things that she had missed, that were things she really would have loved doing. The walk in the evening, the movie, sitting and holding her love's hand. That there were many things in life that she could have chosen more wisely than trying to be perfect. And so she describes herself now as a recovering perfectionist. She said to perfectionists, what we do never seems as good as what we could have done if we had tried just a little bit harder. And we learn the difference between unconditional love and approval. In our society, we've even invented a word to try to describe love that isn't based on approval, and we call it unconditional love. And there's a vast difference between real love and simple approval. So we use approval and self-approval to help us navigate. But the gift is in learning to love ourselves fully along the way. It isn't about being perfect. It's about finding ourselves along the way. And one of the ways we do that is practice loving ourselves. So, my love, why would you ever want to do that? What a great teaching that it's not about being perfect, but about finding yourself. May you have a great week.